Okay, welcome to Writing Equations of Lines with Mrs. Herrera. This is from Homework, your worksheet 2.4, Writing Equations of Lines. I'm going to start with problem number 1. It says write the slope-intercept form of the equation of each line given the slope and y-intercept. So we want to write something that's slope-intercept form, and if we remember, slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. So we need to write something that's in y equals x plus b. From our previous video, we remember that our slope is the m in our slope-intercept form. So our slope here is really m is negative 1/3. And our y-intercept is our b. So our b is really 5. So to write this equation in slope-intercept form, we'd write y equals negative 1/3 x plus 5. Now we have an equation of a line written in slope-intercept form. Okay, next problem. Number 5. Write the slope-intercept form of the equation of the line through the given point with the given slope. So again, I need something that's in slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b. And here I have a point and I have the slope. So I don't have my b. I'm given my m, but I'm not given my b. But I am given a point. And if I think about this equation, the y and the x in this equation kind of stand for all points that would satisfy that line. So therefore, I know that I have one of the points. So I have one x and one y that I could use in order to figure out what my y-intercept is. So the first thing I'm going to do is plug everything I know into y equals mx plus b. For this particular line, I know that there is a point where y is 2. My slope will always be the same. It is negative 1. There is a point in which when y is 2, x is 3. And I need to find then what my b would be, or my y-intercept. So I'm going to go ahead and solve for b. Here, 2 will equal negative 1 times 3, which is negative 3, plus b. I need to get b by itself. B is being added to negative 3, so I'm going to do the opposite and add a positive 3 to both sides. This negative 3 plus 3 is 0, so I'm left with only b on this side of the equation. And on this side, 2 plus 3 is 5. So I find that on this line, the y-intercept is 5. So now that I've found my b, I can rewrite my equation using my m and my b. So I want to rewrite a very general equation for all x's and y's on this line. I'm going to have y equals my slope, negative 1, x, plus my y-intercept, plus 5. And there is the slope-intercept form of the equation of the line going through the given point, 3, 2, with the given slope, negative 1. Finally, I'm going to do problem number 9, which takes us one step further from the previous problem. I need to write the slope-intercept form of the equation of the line going through the 2 points, given points. So again, slope-intercept form y equals mx plus b. And I need to check, am I given any information? Well, I'm given 2 pairs of x's and y's that lie on the line. So I have an x and a y, and another x and a y. And if you remember before, if we want to distinguish this, I'm going to call this one x1, y1, and this will be x2, y2. But I'm not given m, and I'm not given b. So what can we figure out? Well, with 2 points, x1, y1, and x2, y2, I can find my slope. The slope formula, which is m equals y2 minus y1 all over x2 minus x1. So plugging in the values here, I have negative 2 is my y2 minus negative 3, which is my y1, over 0, my x2, minus 5, which is my x1. Now here I have negative 2 minus a negative 3. Well, minus minus, that becomes plus. So it becomes negative 2 plus 3, which is a positive 1. On the bottom, I'll have 0 minus 5, and that's a negative 5. So my slope is negative 1/5. But I still need my b. So I'm going to do the same thing as I did in the last problem, and I'm going to use one of my x's and y's and my m in order to find my b, or my y-intercept. So I rewrite the equation y equals mx plus b. And I can choose either one. I could use 5, negative 3, or 0, negative 2. I'm actually going to use 0, negative 2 because I find these numbers easier to work with. But either one would be fine. So let's plug in, for this case, that my y is negative 2. My slope will always stay the same. It's negative 1/5. And my x is going to be 0. Well, negative 1/5 times 0, that's just 0. So my y equals negative 2. Now again, you could have said, hey, Mrs. Ferreira, I knew that already. I knew that my y-intercept was going to be negative 2 because all y-intercepts are 0, gamma, some number. So I knew just by looking at this point that 0, negative 2 was my y-intercept. If you didn't recognize that pattern, you can still plug it in, and that's fine. And you should get that your y-intercept is negative 2. So now that I have my m and my b, I can rewrite this equation as y equals m, which is my negative 1/5, x, plus b, which is negative 2. And there is the slope-intercept form of the equation through the points 5, negative 3, and 0, negative 2. As always, if you have any questions, please talk to me or Mr. Daniels.